prepared a presentation or anything on their project, feel free to share that as well.
Well, I'm gonna start because I'm from Colombia. I'm here for the first time. I am trying to do a proposal about animated explainers in a lot of languages. The idea is to do 10 animated explainers in the beginning of 2 minutes, more or less, in 6 different languages. So especially Spanish, because we are the Latin American part, Portuguese, and we are thinking about the other 4, what kind of languages can be. I don't know, French maybe, or other things. We are a animated company, little one, not too big, but nevertheless we have a lot of awards, and so we are doing well in the animation world.
And what kind of story or what kind of information do you want to put in your work?
The idea is to put how the story of Cardano from the beginning, or how we enter in Cardano. The idea is put the information that all the people can take that information and can share it with the other people and say, this is Cardano from the beginning, how it works, and the things that can help the people to show how Cardano works, or how are 10 different themes. I don't know yet the themes. I am working on that, of what could be the 10 themes that we can work on it. It is important to talk to other people. We don't know if we want to say these are the 10 things that we want to do, or we want to make the people to share to us, okay, I think the better thing that we need to do this is this and this, and we can make that come and do it.
Yeah,
that is the idea.
Well, I think you are in the right place, because the whole idea of this challenge is to bring some kind of like better understanding to the average Joe. You know, it's we have a lot of YouTubers who can go into very technical details of what Cardano is about, but we don't really have anyone who could reach, you know, average Joe or average people from the, let's say, emotional point of view, or, you know, to explain things in an easy and understandable way.
That is one idea, and that important is to explain it in their own language, in Spanish, in Portuguese, in French, in a lot of languages that we are, everybody's talking in English, most of it in Cardano. So it is important that in each language the people understand and have the information, because there's a lot of people that doesn't get the English well. So that's the idea.
Yeah, I see.
Daniel, if I misspoke a little bit, sorry. I'm part of the Latin Cardano community. I don't know if you heard about it, the Latin community.
Yes, I am in it. I am in Latam Cardano community.
Yeah, and there we have we got founded in Fund 7. We have the Latam school, the
okay.
You know,
yes.
And one big part of the Latam school is, as you know, educating. And if you are interested, maybe we can get in touch, and maybe we could combine your proposal with the Latam school, and yeah, maybe do some work
it's
together.
Perfect. I'm there. I am new. I don't know. I have 2 months in this, and I entered the Cardano world. I don't know, 3 months from now, and it was difficult to us to understand a lot of things. This is a huge world, with a lot of ideas and a lot of businesses and a lot of things. And so I leave that difficult because it's a lot of information, and much of that information is not easy to
Yes,
take. I don't
you
know.
are right, and that's why we need to simplify things to have
Yes,
like
that's the idea.
opening videos or opening articles for. That's why we need journalists, filmmakers, documentary makers, people
Yes.
who can do these things like in a very clear, understandable, and also honest way.
Yes.
So
that's the idea.
Perfect. Victor, hello. Nice to have you here. Could you share a bit maybe about your project or
Sure.
what
Hi,
you're planning?
everyone. Yeah. So my name is Victor. I am French, and I'm working with One Small Town. We had proposals from 7. We did not get funded, but it helped us a lot to redo a white paper for our project. And now we are looking to implement One Small Town in a specific town in Lebanon, and we would like to record the process. We'll have young people on the field, 18 to 25 years old, that will do TikTok account, Instagram account, YouTube account, anything that it will be related to the blockchain initiative, how they use the blockchain tools we will create, and what link we do with Cardano. So they will discover Cardano, they will discover the blockchain. It's for all the towns people that will, through this media we will create, will discover Cardano and how to use the tools we need for One Small Town. So the challenge here, the media challenge for us will be to buy some materials, I guess, for some teen, young, from the city in Lebanon, and for them to have a guideline of how to record the process and to build a little media like this. So that's the proposals I will do this farm in your challenge.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think they should record? It will be like interviews, or what will they do in these videos? Or is it videos as far as I understand?
To be videos, article, anything they want. You know, in One Small Town, the vision is to find the talent of everyone and to make them work their passion, their talent. So we'll find people that love to write articles, and they will write articles. We'll find some people that want to do a TikTok account, to do video of themselves, interview of the businesses that will use the wallet, for example. So anything we will see interesting to share.
Yeah, that's nice. That's good to hear. That's what I wanted to emphasize a bit. To share real stories is very important and crucial. Because again, I think we have a lot of YouTube videos and things like this that don't share the story of a person, or we have many technical details, but we need to bring the knowledge about Cardano to the average person, and I believe that we can do it mostly by sharing a specific story.
Yeah, exactly. So we will try to have a team. We already have a lot of young people attracted by this. So basically we'll constitute a huge team, and we'll have a different kind of media. So and I think it will even collaborate with what Daniel was saying, the animation. We could also do something for to share in all the townspeople, because they will need to learn how to use all the blockchain tools. So we can even find collaboration, I am sure, with Daniel.
Yeah, that's great. I'm sure. Of course, we need animation, because there are things you can't explain without animation in this world. That's for sure. Yeah. Okay, so maybe Luca or Session, do you want to share your story or your proposal if you have one?
Sure, I could do that.
Yeah.
I'm just here hanging out. I'm really in the dApps and integrations challenge, but since that wasn't a breakout room, I just popped in here. But
sure.
So I'm building a music player. It's really a music platform, but the music player is the first utility of this platform. No, that's kind of confusing, but anyway. So I'm building a music player on the blockchain that allows fans or listeners to pay per stream directly to the artists, right? And all collaborators of the song. So automated royalty payments for all rights holders. And so, but really, that's just the first. Like I said, really what I'm building is a platform that allows record labels to run their businesses on and to easily enter Web3 and offer various crypto products. Direct-to-consumer music streaming is the first utility, but then I want to be able to, offer, the ability for these record labels to mint NFTs, an NFT marketplace, social tokens, fractional royalties, et cetera, right? All on one platform built on Cardano. So that's it in a nutshell. I'll drop a link to the proposal on Project Catalyst in case anybody wants to read more. I'm still populating it with the info, but we got to the 17th, so I'm taking my time. I've tried and failed at Fund 6 and Fund 7, so I kind of know what I'm doing, and I just get better and better. So word, that's it.
Good. Thank you for sharing.
Sure.
Maybe Ras or Cole, I think there was an idea in our group on Telegram. It was about jazz recording studio. Do you remember that? Maybe that's a good point for session. Maybe we can share this with him.
Jazz is Dead. Not sure if any of you guys are familiar with that team, but yeah, I believe that's the name.
Yeah, I think I checked them out.
Yeah, maybe you can find some cooperation there. That was my point. Yeah.
Just wanted to add as well, with what Daniel was saying about the animation. First off, beautiful animation from what I've seen in the video you shared. Really happy to have you here, part of the community. And I think also with the challenge with language, communicating complex stories in multiple languages, I think with animation, you can have an animation with no speech, and it's the power of image and the emotion that it conveys, right? So I think maybe you creatives out there perhaps can find a way to create a video that overcomes the need for words, and it's just through imagery and animation. That could be another type of project that's overcoming the challenge of language and the cost that can come with that as well, with a proposal perhaps.
Okay, that's a good idea. Our team only thought about because of the kind of information we try to send is not easy only with images. But I don't know, that maybe if our creatives get an idea and can send the information without a language, will be great. Really will be great, because everyone can use it. Well, we can do that. We can try to do that. I don't know. It's a difficult one, but we can try to do it.
Hi, Luca and Lucio.
Hey guys.
Hello.
You guys got any ideas for this category that you'd like to share?
Yep. Yes. Basically, we had this idea with Luca. Exactly. I don't know if he can talk because I think he's out, but I will try to summarize it. And basically, one thing that we thought about the connection between the video and the Cardano blockchain in general is that you can tell the story on how it works, how you can use it, but maybe if we can create a practical connection between these two type of things, it will be more effective. So we had this idea to create basically take a short video, a short web series with different episodes, and basically it will tell the same story but from different point of views. And the idea is for the user to get some clues inside of the video itself, and in this way they can get some NFTs that basically will unlock the next episode or the next part of the story. And I'm not sure if it really fits in this challenge, because there is also this kind of technological level that maybe better suits to the depth challenge itself. But basically this is the basic idea. And one other thing that it will be really cool to include is not only have these clues in the virtual space, so in the videos itself, but also in real spaces. For example, in the place when the video will be shot, there will be some QR code, something that people can actually use to get the NFTs for the next episode. And in this way, this could be, I don't know, in the future perspective, could be something that could be used to promote touristic places or stuff like that. So the idea was to basically create a basic MVP with this concept and try to see if it gets traction and it will be liked by people.
So you mean it like a technological idea, and the content will be decided later? Do I get it right?
No. I'm not sure. The proposal itself will include also the content, so a brief story, and already the video. Luca is writing it now, but basically, so it's kind of, I don't know. There are two main parts of the proposal. The one is obviously to tell the story, and instead of explicitly talking about the blockchain and the technology itself, the idea is to connect it in a practical way. So basically, with this story, you can obtain these NFTs watching the videos, and this will be the technical part. That with these NFTs, you can basically access the other episodes.
I see. But the main story is it's like a narrative, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it sounds like a cool idea, Lucio and Luca. What came to mind, I'm just going to put a link in the chat when you mentioned about like QR codes in the physical space. I don't know if you've heard of this geocaching game, but yeah, perhaps the tech side of things, there's a lot of inspiration to be looked into. And as you know, Lucio, maybe this proposal could be like split, you know, you have the technical portion of it in the dApps category, and the content and creative side in this category.
Yep. Of course, there is always this risk that only half of the project will be funded. So it's kind of, I don't know. We have to in general. I really would like to hear your opinion about if we present this proposal as only one proposal in this challenge, if it will fit, or maybe, I don't know, if it is a bit out of scope for this technology part.
It's a good question. I think, you know, with our challenge brief, you know, Peter and Cole, of course, chip in here, but, you know, we were seeing it as a category to bring creatives together, and creatives are, you know, not just talking about people with a pen or a camera. You know, there's creatives in all senses, right? Which includes coding and development of an app, etc. So that's how I had it in my head anyway.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Hi, Eric.
Hello. Sorry, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can.
I had some problems with my microphone earlier. I just jumped in. I just wanted to see what you guys were up to and what you were thinking.
Do you have a proposal in this category?
Nope, I don't. But I do work with. I live in the United States, and I work with KUAF, which is a local radio station that is under NPR, the National Program Radio here in the US. And we are working on doing podcasts, blockchain podcasts, not specifically for Cardano, although I'm deeply involved with Cardano, and well, I've been a Cardano fan for many years. So, but I started up meetup groups here. I'm working with the local radio stations here doing blockchain stuff, and I also have, well, I haven't really started it yet because it's more of on a discussion level, but there's also local TV stations here that also want to do a similar thing to podcasts, but it's going to be more visual podcasting, so to speak. It's a little hard to explain, but so yeah, those are the things that I am working on. And so obviously film and media, that is interesting for me. My background is very diverse, very diverse. But as I said, I live in the United States, but I actually am Swedish. And in the early 90s, actually well, it was 1990, Sweden went from public radio to advertised radio. And I started working with a radio station called Radio Megapol, which was one of the first and largest commercialized radio stations. And even in Sweden, I was into doing TV, local TV, and all that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, anyway, my view on all of this is that I want to use as many medias as possible to get as much information about blockchain and cryptocurrencies and whatever you can think of, because people need to know. That has been my take on it. I'm not particularly into, like, I want to start something to build something on any of the blockchains. I'm not really interested in starting a company or putting a proposal into yeah, I'm going to make a game or a visual thing and put it on the blockchain and put tokenizations and all that kind of stuff in it. To me, it is more in the educational part. And the more we do of that part, I think, the more people get involved in it and understand it. One of my biggest thing has been that there's so much misinformation and so much scams within this area that there's so many people that have been burned. And I want to change that way of thinking. And eventually, the more of the common people, if I may use an expression like that, we can get on board, the more they can start influence politicians and whatever you want. I mean, we all know it. I mean, I'm not going to, it's an American expression, I'm not going to preach to the choir, because you all know that this is the future. We are walking towards the future. And
yeah, we are on the same page here. That's for sure. Yeah, and
yeah, 90% of the people are not, and these are the people that I am trying to reach out to. And hopefully, by doing it local here, we will get some traction. And especially if I use working with KUF, which is a local radio station, but it's a subsidiary under NPR, which is sent all over the country. And if this becomes a little bit of a success, then they're going to pick it up and say, hey, you know what, this is really cool. We're going to do this and send it nationwide, and then we can get some better traction. So
yeah, that's for sure. But that's why we are here. That's why Film and Media is here. We want to create simple educational content, not only educational. We are all about film and other forms of art, but it's exactly as you said, and it's tough to talk with TV broadcasters for sure. I'm from Czech Republic. I work for Czech national television, and I'm trying for 2 years to talk with people here about Cardano, about blockchain, and it's extremely tough because people are misinformed and people still don't take this seriously. So
yeah,
we are here to change it.
Well, so I'm being a little tricky here with the radio station. It's actually, I'm calling the podcast, blockchain and the future of money. Because I think we all can agree on that America is run by money. So everybody's thinking about money daily and how can I make more money and all that kind of stuff. But so I'm using that as a kind of like a hook to make sure that people are like, oh, wait a second, future of money. Yeah, you know, so, but the way we've divided it up is that I'm going in and I'm doing an interview with these people, and then we sit in there and we talk about, let's say the last time we talked about was the structure of blockchain. You know, where did blockchain come from and all that kind of stuff. And then we make 5-minute segments. And then we're going to start doing those maybe 2 or 3 times a week. So it's not, you know, overwhelming to the people, but you have to do it in such a way so it's understandable. What I'm looking at is, you know, this community is awesome because you guys have so many ideas. I mean, I'm just one person, and the more I can get inspired by everybody else, or if you guys have done like a little video or something that you are willing to share, then, you know, I'm all for it. And I would absolutely do the same thing. If I do something and I see this a value for you guys, absolutely. You know, it's not about me, it's about us. I'm sorry, I'm taking too much time.
No, don't worry. The thing is that the problem is always the same. The information is not getting right to the people. I think Lucas know most of us because he already is doing that work in Latin America. And believe me, here in Latin America is, if you think in the United States is difficult, and maybe you have more information about that. You don't, here in Colombia, talking about another thing that is not Bitcoin, maybe, is very, very difficult. Everybody, the only thing they know about cryptography is Bitcoin. So it's very difficult to tell something different about that. And because of that, I see that as people in music, that is very, very, I forgot the word, cool to look that are ideas with music, ideas to take someone that is trying to make like a series. I don't understand very well the Lucio idea. Please tell me more about that. You have like an initial series, and I can buy it with NFTs, something like that. But the idea is that everybody knows how Cardano could help us in the future. And yes, that is the way the money would work. I believe everything about that is the way that in the future is gonna be, is with cryptography. And I think that the main problem is that the information gets to the the word is not that, but the common people, to us that don't have big banks and big things to do the information. So I think that the thing is that is the same. We want to transmit the idea, in this case Cardano idea, and I hope the ideas will go further so we can do that.
So Daniel, I have one thing that I have changed it a little bit. I don't approach the blockchain and crypto market from a monetary stand. I am preaching trust all the time. Every time I talk to anybody and they want to talk about, you know, blockchain or NFTs or whatever it is, right? I always turn it around and I said, the reason why we're doing this is because we need trust. And whenever people hear trust, and I think this is universal, here in America, everybody wants to talk about money, but they also want to talk about trust. I think the same thing, of course, obviously I'm Swedish, so I have a lot of Swedish friends, and they look at gaming industry in Sweden is huge. And you might know that. Also, music industry is huge in Sweden. But so every time when I talk to them about that, I'm not saying that, well, you can make a lot of money about this, but how do you know that your gaming or your music is trusted? How do you know that whomever buys this? So I'm always turning it. every time someone says something, I turn it to trust, because trust is so universal. And the thing is that if you think about it, I actually had a very, very good friend to me, and I use this as my mantra. He said, well, we were drinking beer, so obviously, and he said, internet brought people together. Blockchain is bringing trust to internet. And I could not agree with him more. That's where we're going towards. So, and I want to go back to what I said before. I'm a huge Cardano fan. I stake, I'm voting, I'm doing all of that because I really, really believe in the Cardano system. But to me, it is not just Cardano. I don't care if you're interested in Solana or if you're interested in Ethereum or if Bitcoin is your thing or whatever it is. All of us are working for one goal, and it's the trust on the network. And blockchain is bringing trust to the blockchain. So then you can start, you know, I just had a class Monday where people are asking, okay, well, how does blockchain work? And then you're going to say, okay, well, what kind of blockchain? And people just blow my mind and say, what? Are you talking about more than one blockchain? Yeah, I mean, there's more than, you have everything from mined blockchain to staked blockchain, but not only that, you have trusted blockchains to public trust, you know, so you have all of this. You have to start from the right end. That's what I think anyway. And that's what I try to convey to people. Once we have that, I think things are going to start picking up. Blockchain is going to be, I mean, look at internet in the beginning of the 90s. Who even believed in internet in the beginning of the 90s? Hardly anybody. But today, that's standard. 5-10 years from now, we're going to see blockchain. And in the world we live in today, with everything that's going on, how can the Russians believe their own people, right? They're all looking for trust. So that is my take on it. I really need to just shut up and let someone else talk. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I believe you are right, but I just wanted to mention that what we are looking for also is, let's talk about real life use cases. What happened in Cardano, where average people can understand this project because it's somewhat real, you know, not just technical details. So that's why it's important to understand the projects, what's behind them, and yeah, things like this.
I think that sometimes that might be a problem. Of course, as mostly all of you are, I'm a huge Cardano fan, but mainly I think a problem was, for me at least, when I started preaching like crypto, is that I started by preaching Cardano. And if we are talking to the average people that don't know nothing about crypto, if you start by Cardano, of course we know that there is a great option, right? But maybe the option is not, maybe the best option is not to start with that, right? Maybe the best is to start with the philosophy of crypto. I always think, like Eric said about starting with the trust. I always start mainly with the philosophy that comes together with the trust, right? And as times go by, I think that was the best way to actually get people interested in this, get people interested in the technology, get people interested in the trust in philosophy. And then when they are really getting into it, then we can start, I think, preaching Cardano. Don't you think?
Yeah, Luca, I think that's a very important point, because, you know, if we think back to Bitcoin, you know, how did Bitcoin come about? The context, you know, 2008 global financial crisis, mistrust of our financial system, banks, governments. You know, fast forward to today, you know, Cardano's here, but yeah, I totally understand where you're coming from. You know, when you speak to people, you have to bring it on a level that it's understandable, and everyone can understand the world is not a place where it's all unicorns and rainbows. And so there's a technology now that's offering a solution, but we're living in a political world. So with media, you know, even if you turn on the TV and you look at if you Google some of these key words, the type of articles, the type of stories you're going to see, that's evolved in the past couple of years with the pandemic. And I think what's beautiful about this community is, we're all coming together with a common purpose. This vision of education is key, and we can't rely on what's on TV to be our source of knowledge. So yeah, how do you translate complex projects that are having a real use case implementation today, this minute, and broadcast that story out there? Because the bigger media giants aren't necessarily picking up those stories. So who's going to do it?
Yeah, that's a very deep question. A couple of ways that I try to operate is that I try to not address or approach media that I know, especially here in the United States. And I'm not talking about other countries because I'm not really sure how all of them work. Some of them have commercialized TV and some of them have public state-owned TV and stuff like that. And it might not be in their interest to show, if I really don't think that Russia would go for a radio, a radio host that wants to talk about the truth. But how do you address people like that? And so I've addressed it in such a way that I talk locally about that. And then hopefully if that gets traction, then it gets picked up by other local stations. There might be a very good use case that then they pick up and run with. And also, when you do something on your own, there are Odyssey, for instance, is a YouTube, but it's blockchain based. I don't know if have you guys ever heard of Odyssey? So so I'm spelling it right. Hold on a second. It's spelled Odyssee. I'm going to do this. Odyssee. And I, go there and check it out. And it's blockchain based and nobody owns it. And when you post something on there, you actually earn cryptocurrencies. And because it's not owned by anybody, it can't be taken down. There's always good and bad with all of these things. What you guys are going to notice, for instance, with Odyssey is that there's right-wing people, the Trump fans, they're going to talk about it, but that's okay. We're always going to have to take the good with the bad. I think finding solutions like that, where whatever you do, I would love to see a program like Odyssey built on the Cardano network. That would be fantastic. So if you really want to have a Cardano use case, that would be tremendous. I would definitely start putting my stuff on there. So, but using things like that could be good. And Lucas, I agree with you. Cardano, I love Cardano to death. I probably will, be a Cardano fan for the rest of my life. But I've also realized that Cardano is not the only blockchain. The other thing that I'm also very deeply involved in is the cross-platform stuff. Is that we need to find bridges between the different, there needs to be a very simple way to go from Ethereum to Cardano to Solana to Bitcoin to whatever it is. Because in the future, if you own an NFT or an avatar that is your NFT or the identity, you should be able to go from an Ethereum network metasphere to a Cardano one with it's going to be seamless. It has to be, but it isn't today. So that's another thing that I'm very involved in. Again, thank you for letting me talk.
Let me greet Michael. Hello, Michael. Do you have a proposal in this category? Do you want to share it with us?
Yes, I do, and I'm not sure. I feel a bit sheepish that I missed everybody else's talking about theirs, and feeling a bit naked in the room. Everybody knows each other's stuff. I don't know anybody's.
Don't worry.
It's okay, Michael. It's recorded, I believe. So yeah, you can always watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. We're pitching a blog, or sorry, an iPod, podcast in a interview format, and like a conversational format. My partner and I have an educational background, like K-12 teaching and learning management systems and curriculum, and in the trenches of education for years. My partner is web develop, like advertising / web development kind of background. And we're really interested in bridging the gap. And I just heard the last person, I'm not sure who that, maybe it was Lucas. I think I just came to the end of that conversation, maybe Rosali, where, I think probably everybody here, we're interested in that bridging space, between the larger world and what's going on in Cardano. And especially we're seeing like the developers. I've sat in on some of the sessions with developers, and I'm not a developer. And you can see that there is naturally kind of an echo chamber thing that happens with the developers, right? And they're talking about all these technical details, and it's not necessarily really connected to the outside world, right? And that's normal because it's just new and it's all bootstrapping and just getting rolling. But we want to step into that space, and I think probably everybody here in this room knows what I'm talking about. So when I saw that there was an arts and media category, I was really happy. Thought, oh yeah, we're gonna find a home there probably. So if anybody has any questions or comments, that's I guess all I have to say for now.
Great, sounds good. And where are you based, and who will you interview, or what's your plan?
We're based in Alberta, sunny Alberta, Canada, and we're thinking about interviewing bringing in some different people, like completely outside to talk about blockchain that maybe haven't even thought about blockchain. One example that we thought of there's a guy in Canada called David Diamond, and he does community awareness theater, and he goes into communities, and he does these improvised theater things with people from the audience that are representing stakeholders in different social situations. Like I was there when he did a thing about Native people here in Alberta dealing with logging companies and the police, and so they just pull people from the audience to represent those different stakeholders, and it's all improvised, and it's just so fascinating and productive. And it seems to me that Cardano is kind of like that, where it's kind of like the elephant thing. We're all kind of running around, here's the trunk, here's the ears, and what does the elephant look like, sort of thing, right? So that could be like a really fascinating perspective on this whole thing, just as one example, right? Or to talk about, someone just we were actually looked at a proposal last night, and we're thinking, just going through line by line, like, what does this even mean? And just discussing it, like, what does that mean? I don't know. What do you think it means? And kind of, stuff like that.
Thanks, Michael, for sharing. And just gonna say hi as well as a fellow educator. Worked in London, Paris, and in Indonesia here in secondary schools and universities. So it's good to see another one from the trenches.
Yeah, and I'm wishing I could have heard everybody, but anyway, I will go back and listen. And with your names, I guess we can actually look up each other's proposals too, right? Because one thing we're really interested in is just how collaboration can work in this context, because everybody's got their idea, and then they're all there, and then how we might collaborate is not that clear to me in terms of the process, right? And with the proposal process.
Well, for me, it's very simple. We meet, we learn from each other, and for example, one proposal gets voted, but we all know that, for example, Daniel is working on animations, Eric is doing podcasts. We all have our roles, and we can connect and cooperate. That's why we are here.
Well, I haven't been in I'm just new here, and I haven't been through this process at all. So are you saying then, for example, you know, let's say I meet you and we talk and we have some, you know, we're on the same page about certain things, or we can contribute, and let's say you get funding and we don't get funding, and then we would maybe continue, you would maybe say, oh, Michael, you could come over and join us. Is it kind of thing? Is that what happens? Is there one thing that happens?
For me, for sure, because for example, I have a project where I need some people, some specific like jobs have to be done, and by meeting all of you here, it's great, because then I know what you're up to, what you can do, and I can then ask you, hey, let's cooperate, let's do this. I can ask you for doing maybe this special task or things like this, you know.
And there isn't a way for projects to like there's no sort of equivalent in once your project's going where projects can be reporting back to the community on their progress, right?
Sorry, I just wanted to mention one other thing. There is a possibility to connect two projects in idea scale into one. So am I saying this right, Ras or Cole? I think you can connect the two projects into one just by, I don't know, some sort of colluding.
Petter, do you mean if for example you've got your project and then you discover there's another project team? Yeah, up until the 17th, anything on the platform can be edited, and then after that, that's when you won't be able to edit the actual text of the proposal. But that doesn't mean, of course, the collaboration opportunities end. You know, you can update, I think, in the comments section up until a certain point. Lucio, I don't know if you remember the date off the top of your head.
Yes, it's the 17th, I think.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, but once we reach 17th, don't we have like another extra week for editing?
No. No, it's the last day. On 17, the proposals will be locked, and after the date, you can't edit anymore the actual content of the proposal. The only thing that you can do is continue. Obviously, the comments will be open, but community advisor will review only basically the main content. This is like kind of the official submission of your proposal. Let me check the date just to be sure.
Yeah.
Well, I do know that once you get through the CA Q&A and all that, and the VCA and all that, once you get past that point, you can actually edit your proposal again. You know, I like I said, I have a Fund 6 and a Fund 7 proposal, so I've been around the block.
You can also, I was Fund 6, I was funded in Fund 6, but you can also, can't you, if you find somebody that you want to collaborate with, you can withdraw your proposal and join another person's proposal if you want. You just put withdraw on your proposal, you edit it so it says withdraw. Is anybody right? That's correct. And so then you can just join another proposal so that it's stronger because there's more people involved in that one. So.
No, I've heard that too. And I think you're correct about that, Marta.
Yes, Michael?
On this theme, I actually want to make a little pitch here to everybody, because we're also going to be doing one in miscellaneous and about a facilitated learning model. And so any of you that has like an educational component, I guess everybody here has an educational component. And if there's, let's say you have participants or audience members who are following you in some way or involved in your project, and basically everybody wants to be learning something. Like that would be the qualification. Like, do you want to learn something, you know, in an ongoing kind of semi-focused kind of way? Not necessarily taking a course, but let's say, yeah, I want to learn about, you know, whatever it is, right? It's self-directed, but we're thinking that it would be very helpful to hook up 3 people who are also committed to learning something, whatever they want to learn, but just to be checking in with each other and reporting in a actually in a structured way, like an actual, where you're committing to, yeah, I'm going to get back to you 3 times and tell you what I learned. And then it's a peer validation model. And we're really wanting to develop this with real live learners in all kinds of areas, because this is working towards what we see as the decentralization of assessment, to take assessment out of the hands of the institutions and the governments and into our own wallets about, here's what I know, here's what I've learned, and here's what I decide to share it with you for my own purposes when we are in a dialogue. So everybody here, if you would, if you want to participate with us, and we would offer, we would want to facilitate your audience a little bit, and it's sort of like through you're the gatekeeper of it. But if it's kind of like to enhance the learning of your audience members, then that's what we're offering as a way to collaborate, if that made sense.
Thank you, Michael, for sharing. Just noticed you put your hand down, Daniel. Would you like to share?
Yes, sorry for coming late. I actually had to do another presentation from at the Scale Up Cardano Community Hub. So I just finished here now. I've joined this challenge settings. Actually, I have a proposal under this category. Theater for a Change is the name. And I want to use interactive theater to educate students about blockchain technology, because we believe that one of the effective ways to communicate is through theater and art. So this is what all the project is about. We will be going to secondary schools in Ghana. Then we'll be educating them on Cardano blockchain and its applications. This interactive theater, we are going to involve the students. So the students are also going to be performing to educate their fellow students. We are going to record each of the performances. We upload it online, and it's going to be used as an online material. So if anybody is having a seminar, education seminar about blockchain technology, they can use it as an interlude, as a educative material. And I think it's going to go a very long way, because this is a methodology that I've used before. There's this small community in Ghana, it's called Jamestown. And then there's a high rate of teenage pregnancy in this community. So we came together that how are we going to educate this community to minimize this, to educate them about safe access and the rest. So we were using interactive theater, and the teenage pregnancy was reduced drastically. That means the using art theater to educate people is very effective, and that's the same method I'm coming to use to educate, to bring students, to let students to adopt Cardano blockchain technology, and then how they can use it, and how they can also get involved. So if you have time, I'll drop the link over here. You can visit the proposal, suggest things that I can add to it, ideas, and how I can make it a better proposal, how I can build upon it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Daniel, for sharing. Well, actually, I guess we are running out of time a bit. So on a last note, I would like to say that our challenge is also about cooperation with other challenges, because we want to inform and educate. That's, I think we can agree, that's our main and common goal. So don't hesitate to reach out to other challenges and meet people from there, and let's learn what they are doing, what they are up to, and we can educate others about that.
And also just please share all of your Project Catalyst proposals in the Telegram chat, so we can take a deeper look at those and see how we can cross collaborate and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
And just before we leave, on that note about education, if anyone's interested perhaps to continue the conversation, please join the Telegram channel if you're not already there. And also Cole and I, we're from Sustainable Ada, and we'd love to learn about all the impactful projects in our community, and hopefully maybe help collaborate in some way to tell your story, in your words. So there's opportunities for us to work together. Thank you.
Could you put the name of it or the link to the Telegram?
Oh yeah, sure. Let's grab it.
Thank you.
Do you guys use anything else but Telegram? Because I don't use Telegram. I have too many things.
Yeah, we also have Discord channel.
Discord.
Okay.
We will put it in the chat.
Splendid. I just want to add one thing before I hang up, or we are hanging up, is that one thing that I have noticed, and I go into different groups all the time because I want to learn as much as possible, because the more I learn, the more I can teach, so to speak. But one thing that is very common in all of these is that everybody comes with brilliant proposals, but a lot of times it's very focused on their little corner of the world, so to speak. Sometimes it could be, I just want to build NFTs, and then they do it just for America. Blockchain is worldwide. People seem to forget that when I create something, don't just think for your country, think for the rest of the world. You might do a film or a theater thing that is in your language, but this could be posted in a way that the whole world would see it, and people can actually get coins or tokens out of that in the end. But it's a fundamental thinking thing. Think outside of your own world and your own little box. And I have seen several times that I read proposals and I'm reading, wait a second, I just read that one a little bit further up, or I read an exact, almost similar thing, but in a whole different area. It could be, media here, but gaming was over here, and it's the same proposals. So
I hear what you're saying there, Eric. It's I think the beauty of humanity, perhaps, which is sometimes we're thinking we're the only one with an idea, and then you realize someone else has it, or something very similar. So yeah, I think this is the experiment that we're all part of, right? The first step is sometimes the hardest, just to put your idea out there, and then if you're open, you find each other. Sorry, Peter, I think you were about to say something.
I just wanted to mention that sometimes it's not a bad thing to be local, because that's where the stories are. That's where you have some specific example of Cardano usage or things you want to talk about. So I say let's start local and build up towards global.
But I would also say that it depends on the project, right? And certain types of projects, like if you're I've been talking to people building like metaverses and synthetic environments and things like that, and it's been really interesting in terms of what I've understood and how, in terms of thinking about there's been conversations with people from different parts of the world, and how we find our way to communicate about what we understand about blockchain, but specifically Cardano, how we understand it, what its value is across communities. So sometimes there's linkages. So kind of both what Peter is saying and what Eric is saying seems to be true. I mean, it seems, and Daniel too, and Michael too. So it seems like there's this sort of a need to sort of synthesize, I guess, all these different perspectives on what we're doing. But your project itself may have more specific locality in terms of the focus. But there could be the way it's communicated could be more global, or it's important to have more global communication, it seems.
Yeah.
And there is something important here. One of in our project, the major difficult is try to send the message to different languages, but not only languages, also cultures and difficulties in each country, because it's very, very different, the difficulties in Colombia and in Argentina, and we are talking in the same continent. I don't know how is the difficulties in Ghana. I don't know what are the things in the United States. So there is very difficult to try to send a message that everybody get it the same way, because when talking Latin America is very different when we talk how is the economy in United States and how it is the economy in Ghana or in other countries. So the realities are very difficult. So each person when is trying to do a project, maybe it's better that in Czech Republic is different that the person that like Daniel that have to send a message that in Ghana is very different, and maybe Peter can send that message so well as Daniel. So it's difficult to send the messages worldwide, but of course the idea and our idea is to try to do that, and that's the major difficulty that we have in this moment, has to make a series of videos that everybody can understand. That is our major goal and a difficult one.
You're right. Thank you, Daniel. And I think that's our last note, because the room is really about to close. So thank you everyone for being here, and let's keep in touch.
Thank you.
Let's go back to the main room.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
It seems like there's something wrong with the Discord server for this. That link didn't work for me, so I don't know. Something's up with that. Anyway, I'll see you out there anyway. Thank you very much.
We'll look into it. Thank you. Take care.
See
everyone.
you.
See you soon.
Take care.